All right, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into compound interest. And what we're going to do is find the yield, or the APY, annual percentage yield, of a given account. And the annual percentage yield is different from the annual percentage rate. And that is because the rate is getting compounded monthly or daily or weekly or quarterly. And as a result, it gives you a touch more interest than if you just get interest one time per year. So we're going to set up a table and find the rate. And then what we're going to also do is see how we can determine the rate just by using the equation. So an account is started with an initial investment of $3,000. The account has an annual interest rate of 6% compounded monthly. What is the annual percentage yield of the account? So let's go ahead and throw all this information in the equation, and then I've got a Desmos set up to help us out. So the initial investment, which is $3,000, goes in for P of O, or the original principal, plus one plus the rate, which is 6%. So I put 0.06, remember. We have to move that decimal over twice. And then we compound it by 12, because it is a monthly interest rate, a yearly interest rate getting compounded 12 times or monthly. And then I put 12T. Once I've got that information, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring over this table, and I'm going to show some numbers that I've already got in here. So if the account is being only has 0 years of experience of growth, we're going to put $3,000 because that's what we originated with. However, after 1 year, we have $3,185.03. After 2 years, we've got $3,381.48. And then after 3 years, which is, notice what I'm doing, I'm just putting the 1, 2, and 3 up where the T would be. I've got $3,590.04. In order to find the rate, it's really nice and easy. We're just going to take this information now and divide them. So I'm going to take $3,185.03, and I'm going to divide it by 3,000. Okay, and I get 1.061. And then let's take the next one. I'm just going to make a list real quick. 3,381.48. And I'm going to divide that by the one right before it, $3,185.03. So the first one is the rate of the first year. The second one is the rate between the second and the first and the second year. And let's go for the rate for the between the second and the third year. So I'm going to take $3,590.04. And I'm going to divide that by $3,381.48. Notice what happens. Every single time we get 1.0616, 1.06167, or 1.06167. It is exactly the same every single time. So it doesn't matter if we actually make these calculations, because they're always exactly the same, which is 1.0616. How about we round that to 1.062, just to make our lives a little bit easier. So I'm going to go back to this chart, and I'm going to say, well, I know that the rate is 1.612 every single time. It does not change. So 1.612. Now, let's go ahead and see if we can find that in the equation, because we might be able to find the yield easier. Earlier in this unit, we were talking about manipulating rates and changing the rates. This is an annual rate, and it has been compounded monthly. So let's go ahead and look what happens when we take the initial rate, that the original initial B value that we've set up in the exponential equation, and just type it in and manipulate the rate to demonstrate months. So let's do that. 1 plus 0.06 divided by 12 caret to the 12th power. Check it out. There it is. This value, which comes out, is 1.062. It is exactly the same. So we can look at it from a table, or we can look at it algebraically. Okay. Now all we have to do is find the actual percentage yield, and that's nice and easy. Remember that a growth rate is essentially 1 plus the rate. Well, if I take that 1 off, I can only be adding this 0.62 or 0.062, my bad. And then I just need to take that 0.062 and change it back to a percentage. Move back to, and that gives us 6.2%. And this is the APY. We started with a 6% increase, and we're actually by the end of the year getting 6.2% just because we compounded it monthly.